You ready for it?
Sir.
Vanguard versus Bloodhounds. Best of 7, who wins?
Best of 7? This is hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MLSA Break Time, where we take a step back and meet the community. Today, we have an amazing individual who went from a player to a professional player to a team manager and coach, a man that has helped so much to build the MLBB NA community. We're talking about the team manager for Vanguard. Exyio is in the building. And here we go. What's up, Exyio? How you doing?
How's it going, Reezy? How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you. Appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule as a team manager to be able to do this interview. I mean, I've been a team manager myself, and I know exactly what that entails. Now, you know, it's finally glad to be able to put a face to the name. We've kind of known each other for a while over on the Weaselton Discord, even before the MLSA. I think both of us definitely entrepreneurs who try and make the most out of anything that we kind of get our hands on, and I'm glad to be able to have you on the show. So speaking of that, that kind of gets me into who is Exyio? Where did you come from? Where did you grow up at? Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
First, how's it going, everyone? My name is Exyio. I'm actually the manager for Bloodhounds, goal laner for the Vanguards, coach, captain, analyst, like basically the overheading thing for the Vanguards, and that's really my main team. I'm currently a junior in college. I moved here about 7 years ago from the Philippines, so I go like way far back, like the heart of Mobile Legends basically. And I'd say like I lived there till I was 13, if I'm doing the math right.
Oh wow.
So, and my grandmother passed away, which like prompted my mom to move me here from the Philippines basically. And that's who you guys see now today.
So when you say you moved here, where do you live at? What state are you in?
Florida, actually.
Oh, hey, I'm in Florida too.
Baby.
I'm in Florida. Actually, just moved to Florida this year. Yeah, so I'm loving it. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know what city. What city are you in?
Gainesville. That's like an hour and a half away from me, basically.
Well, there we go. So you know, Assassin Dave, I'm sending this your way. Next MLBB meetup is definitely going to be between Gainesville and Jacksonville, hosted by Exyio and myself. Yeah, that's right. No, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. I love Florida. It's very sunny. I don't rarely have to worry about any other weather outside of that. So now, you know, you mentioned you spent half your life in the Philippines and now spending the second half in North America. What do you miss about the Philippines? Anything specifically that you kind of miss sometimes?
I'd say it's very much the culture and like just in the environment. Like even though Florida is so like super close, it's like kind of having that like tropical weather and stuff like that. The environment's just super different. So I'd say like I always reminisce whenever I have time. Like I always tell my girlfriend I'm like very homesick pretty much when I go home. So like it's very much the environment, and like it just feels home to me.
Do you get to go back and visit often?
I have not visited in the past 7 years at all.
Oh man.
So it's been quite a while.
I'll tell you what, M5 is in the Philippines. You going?
I don't know, because I had to finish college first. So like that might be a goal if I keep calculating my schedule. So.
Well, I'm sure hopefully it'll circle back around and get there again. I mean, that's honestly like one of the most things I'm excited about this year. Is the first time ever it being hosted in the Philippines, and I mean the Philippines is the biggest audience for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. I feel like that's where the heart of it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, speaking about Mobile Legends, how did you get into it?
I think I actually have like a very like vivid memory of this. So I remember I would like hang out like I was a little kid, and internet cafes were very much like a common thing in the Philippines, where you like pay like 25 cents, like from peso to dollars. You pay like 25 cents to get like an hour of time, being able to play in the computer. And a lot of people were playing Dota, like Defense of the Asians, basically.
Okay.
And since internet cafes were pretty much like there's a lot of people in there, like a lot of people just standing around watching other people play. And I specifically remember there's just one kid just sitting in the corner, just playing like a mobile game, and I'm like, that looks very similar to Dota. And later on, like a few months fly on basically, my friend introduces me to Mobile Legends. He's like we should play it. And I said, well, I'm playing on an Android, so I don't think it can handle it. And he's like, well, why don't you try? And then we played it for the whole day until like 11 o'clock at night, and it was summer, so like I pretty much had the time to explore the whole thing.
So would you say, were you playing it prior, like around launch date, or was it a little bit after?
I'd say it was like more like, I think season 3, because like I remember asking him like what's up with the Lucard's Fury Inferno skin, and apparently it's like a season thing, like it happened in December. So like it was like, yeah, it was around that time. So like around season 3, like the middle of season 3, I'd say.
I mean, that's still pretty early. I want to say that's probably around 2016, 2017. I mean, the game launched in 2016, so yeah, you definitely been playing for a little while. You got some experience under your belt. I guess that's what we call a veteran player. Now, speaking about Mobile Legends, you know, you've not only played casually, you played professionally, and you've also stepped into the zone of coaching. You know, I guess if we go into that journey, what went in your head to make you make the decision from taking your casual gameplay first to the professional scene?
I think it's when I moved here, really. I was just playing it casually, like here and there, like whenever I had free time in the Philippines. And when I moved here, I do the same thing, like play rank, whatever. I get upset, whatever, yada yada yada. And I met this guy. His name's Eds, and like me and him basically like kicked it off. And I didn't like know much about him until like he was like, okay, like this is my Discord contact, whatever, we should talk, whatever, whenever you have time. And we talked, and then we like just kept playing until he brought in like 3 more of his friends, and then that's when we started playing 5-man. And then later on, he was just like, why don't we make a team? So that's when that started, and that was like back in 2020.
Oh, okay.
So very much so.
So you were a casual player for a few years before you switched to the pro scene. Okay, well, definitely glad that you made that transition. And you didn't only transition to a pro player, you transitioned into what very few people in North America transition to, and that is a team manager and a coach. What made you want to make that decision and that change?
I'd say it was more of like fulfilling like a role, basically. There's not a lot of people that would step up and be like, hey, like I'll take charge of this part, or like, hey, I'll lead this team. And it was more like I'd say with Ed's, like me and Ed's bond, is more of like the over like leading part of it. And I'd say like I took the time of basically like watching our gameplays and like telling us, like saying, hey, this is what other people are doing, and like this is what we should be doing at the same time. So I think it's like more of like fulfilling that role, and like it kind of was given to me in a sense.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So speaking about coaching, speaking about managing, what does the day in the life of a coach look like behind the scenes, and what would you say is most challenging about it?
I'd say first thing in the morning, I'd tell everyone good morning. Basically, it's kind of become a routine at this point. And then I'd give, like, for me, for some reason, I've had this routine of like watching Mobile Legends gameplay, or like people, like especially with MSC up right now, I watch Echo versus Evo. Basically give him a rundown of like what I saw and tell him to watch specific parts of that clip. And like later on, like now I'm planning like whatever scrims we could probably take on, and then like basically I have reminders for when the Mlsa schedule would come out, and just to get ahead of the list. And then just talking to my team and seeing what we need to improve on. So, and like challenging part of that, I'd say, is the execution. Probably like everything is so good in theory and in paper, but executing it's a different story. And it's the same in game, it's the same outside of the game, and it's very meticulous, I'd say.
I definitely can agree with you on that. I mean, even with Mobile Legends in North America, like it's growing every year, but we're still a developing region. And then trying to get 5 players together, trying to keep them on track in a region that's not fully developed, when the opportunity is not always there, it can be challenging. And I got to give credit to you. I definitely, trust me, when I say I understand, I understand.
Yeah.
So, speaking about your team, you know, who is your team? I know, you know, they go by the Vanguard. That's their name. We've seen them compete, but they used to be known as the Bloodhounds Academy. So why don't you tell us, first of all, about the Bloodhounds Academy, and then what caused the transition into the new name for the Vanguard?
So Bloodhounds Academy, it was really a thing. Okay, I actually have a really good story about this. So Jane one time came up to me and asked me, hey, do you want to be a manager for the Bloodhounds? And I said, okay, cool, but like I don't really think I can take on that role because like these guys are pro players. They played in NACT, like they're pro players basically, and they have like the experience. And I'm like, people don't really know me as much, like especially in the higher tier teams. So I kind of like I didn't have the confidence to basically take on that role. And Jane took me under her wing, and then later on, like she kind of like let go little by little, and then like I was just managing Bloodhounds, and I kind of needed a team at the same time because I didn't want to like just be a manager, and I like the thrill of that, being able to play and being able to be like on an online stage, I say. So me and Boca agreed on creating Bloodhounds Academy basically. And then later on, as time flew by, I think I was like after NACT, we were just like, I don't really want to be like people on my team were just like especially Jivik, he was just like, I don't really want to be named Bloodhounds Academy, like can we pick a different name? So we were basically brainstorming while we were playing, and then the Vanguards just really stuck out.
Now, where did the Vanguard name come from? Was that something you guys came up collectively as a group together, or was that more of like something, is there a meaning behind it?
Yeah, so my roamer Blaze, he basically came up with like a list of stupid names, and I was just like, okay, like Vanguard on this part is cool, why don't we just make it the Vanguard? And then everybody was just like, that's cool, whatever. And then it took them like, for me, I stuck out with the name. It was like, it sounded really, really good. But for them, they're like, okay, let's give it a day for a little bit, like whatever. And like they all slept through it, and they were like, okay, the Vanguard actually sounds pretty nice.
You know, it's funny, I always say, like, when it comes to that kind of thing, when it comes to finding a name, a lot of people get hung up on what should the name of the team be, what should the logo be, but, you know, I'm a firm believer of you are the one that makes the name, you're the one that makes the logo and the name don't make you. So, with all the hard work that you guys are putting in, it's definitely showing, and it's definitely living up to the name and creating the value, you know, from it. So, definitely good job on that, to not only you, but to all your teammates. And speaking of your teammates and speaking of your team, you got a little bit of merch. And speaking of merch, not only do you have merch, but you've also stepped above and beyond and made social media for your team page, which is something that I know we've been trying to push for team captains, team managers in North America to do, and a very great job on that. Why don't you tell us, where can we find the Vanguard on social media, and also if there is merch available, where can we get it?
The merch available yet, sadly. I've been kind of thinking about it, but our goal is like, we want to hit our goal first, obviously. So you can always find us, the Vanguard.MLBB on Instagram. That's the first thing, or you can join our Discord server, discordgg.bloodhounds.
There you go. And it will be in the description of this video for everybody watching, so make sure you guys go and stop by and support the Vanguard on their amazing journey as a professional team spearheaded by Exyio. And speaking about your team, are we going to see you guys compete in the NACT fall season?
If you're there, I'll see you guys there then.
Oh, there you
see
go.
Everyone there.
Well, we're excited. We'll definitely be rooting for you on the sidelines in that. And, you know, speaking about North America and things that are upcoming, how do you kind of feel about North America as a region compared to other regions such as the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar?
I'd say North America has like, it's very much like a growing scene, I'd say. Even though as a coach, I've held a lot of people, like I've coached a lot of people, and I've like basically like taught a lot of people, and everything they have in common is like they all have talent, and it's just like they need someone to basically like help like nurture, like have that nourishing component to that talent. And it's just like, I think that as long as it like has attention to it, and people like actually approach playing the game with passion and determination, like I think NA will come very, very far.
Now, speaking of NA, and on that same letter, how do you feel, if you had one thing for North America to shoot for as a goal, or one thing you'd like to see change in the year for 2023, what would it be?
I'd say prove everyone wrong. We've done it twice already. Like BTK in M3, the Valley in M4, like slaying MPL like regions basically. So we can like make the world run as NA, we can make the world run as NA in Mobile Legends as well.
There you go. Excellent answer. And now, you know, you mentioned BTK, then you mentioned the switch to the Valley, and then, you know, the split down the middle with the new BTK and also Outplay. Outplay on the way to MSC. How do you feel about that? Do you have any words of motivation for them going out there as they're going to be fighting for the biggest challenge that they've had so far, minus that amazing Grand Slam in the NACT spring season?
I'd say just keep the passion straight. You know, having that mentality. Like, they don't really have anything to lose, so being able to like keep up that mentality and just doing the best you can in every single moment, every single game, and not worrying about what happens like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, like a game before, and just playing as hard as you can and like just having fun. I think they'll go very, very far. Maybe even a top 4 finish, I'd say.
Excellent. And, you know, 2 other questions I had for you. For your team, what is one goal you're shooting for them for the year 2023, and then also for yourself?
I'd say for 2023, I'm really trying to get a league spot for NACT. I'd say my team enjoys very much like being able to watch themselves play with like a bunch of amazing casters like you, like cast over them basically. And we really want that NACT like fall 2023 league spot. So we're gonna grind our way towards that. And to me as a coach, I'd say like keeping up with the consistency and being able to help them like nourish whatever they have, and like us as a team to execute whatever we have already done multiple times.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know, you guys definitely have some challenges ahead. I mean, there's a lot of great teams out there, but I definitely think you guys are one of them. And I'd love to see you guys inside of the top 8 in that double round robin. I mean, it's a double round robin now too, so it's definitely longer. It makes it even more exciting. And then the venue on top of that, to be able to go out to Vegas or wherever it'll be, maybe in Florida this time, so we don't have a long drive. That would be amazing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, that's honestly a great thing for your team. You got a really good thing going on for not only yourself, but for the Vanguard. And I can't wait to see what you guys pull out for the year 2023 in the fall season. And also, hopefully, you guys, I've seen you registered for the Cyberpunk tournament for MLSA Season 3 as well, right? There you go. So we'll get a little bit of a sneak peek at you guys right there. Yeah, I'm excited as well. Now, I appreciate all the questions that you answered, but I got one more thing to ask, possibly the most important question of the day. You ready for it?
Sir.
Vanguard versus Bloodhounds. Best of 7, who wins?
Best of 7? This is hard. I think Bloodhounds will win. I have to give them the respect. They're really good. They're specifically really good with everything. But I think we can could probably push them to Game 7 if I'm being honest.
Ooh, hey, you know, maybe we'll get to see that. Hopefully, you know, Bloodhounds registers in the Cyberpunk tournament. Maybe we see you guys in the grand finals. But
looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Exyio, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for being a part of this amazing show, this amazing segment, Break Time. Do you have any last minute words for anybody out there in the audience for the MLSA?
I'd say everybody in MLSA, I hope you guys are enjoying every second of like the casting, the games, everything of the production. The production is amazing this season. And just for my team, like, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys put in. And for everybody who's like aspiring to be a pro player, I'd say have that learning mentality and always like focus on the growth more on like the losses that you take. So always learning and growth every time.
That's right, and that's resilience. You got to know, you know, you learn the best lessons when you fall. If you're always standing, you don't really learn that much because you think you're never going to fall. So I think that's some words of wisdom from the man himself, Exyio. I appreciate you spending your time with us today. This has been an amazing segment, Break Time, the MLSA community, where we take a chance to step back and meet those in the community. Exyio, good luck on your journey to not only yourself, but also to the Vanguard, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
Sir, peace.